everybody. Put a couple of miles on the car. We're putting some more on it. I drove it the other day, and I firmly am starting to really believe that the injectors were the issue. When I drove it, did you say hi? No, he just woke up. When I drove it, I had to pull almost 20% of fuel out of the whole map. Driving around, it was like 10.8, 10.9. It was idling at like 12.0. And we got smaller injectors in it now. So we're working on the map some more. We got to adjust some things. I want to put some miles on. When I drove it the other day, there was metal in the clear view. And I got nervous because I'm like, now I'm just PTSD on this thing with metal in this clear view. But you can't clean out the motor that great, so there's gonna be some. When I drove it last night, I drove it like 15 miles. There was like 6 flakes in there, so I think we're all right. I think the car's been running pretty good. Other than the bearing issue, I mean, like temperature-wise, the thing's solid. Seems to be revving better, and seems to be happier. This weekend, we get Dave in the passenger seat with the laptop, and we go drive it, do some street pulls. Try to put some boost to it, because I mean, this thing, we beat the bearings out in you know, pretty much 2 pulls. So we'll go up on the highway, and obviously I'm not going to go up the trans brake. You know, I don't even have the radials on the car. See what we can do. See if I can put some beating into it before we even go back to the track. But the cam sounds so much better. It's louder, but it chops. Going this morning, my buddy's shop. Turbo K Series Civic that he thinks, we pulled the head off of it the other day, because he believes it was getting hot. They'd make a pull and it jumped 50-60 degrees. His built motor broke. He put a stock motor in, stock studs, gaskets, the whole 9. So when I pulled the head off, you could see the back of one piston was pretty well clean. On it today. He's going all-wheel drive in the car, and he thinks he's gonna put the gap on me, and I just laughed, and I'm like, I ain't scared of a all-wheel drive 600 horsepower Civic. Just now, don't get me wrong, there's fast ones out there. There's ones faster than me, but there's only a couple. My kid in the car going down there, like street car. Oh God. Wake up, my peoples! So I'm here for 2 things. Kick your ass, chew bubblegum. Roll out of bubblegum. So we'll put it back on, and hopefully it fixes that thing. He's got a built motor on the way, but you know, everything with delays, and it's taking its sweet time to get here. So we're gonna put some miles on this thing today and drive it again. I'm just gonna put a bunch of miles on it. I want to get like 150, 200 miles on it with some, oh God, with some abuse, and make sure it's good before we waste, you know, $500–600 to go racing. You know, it's a lot of money to go there and make 1.5 passes and leave with a broken motor. So let's go.
felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely.
Sleep through anything. It's a beautiful thing. Well, came down here and put a head gasket in this beater yesterday. C85, VP C85 is an oxygenated fuel, which he was using, and it's trash. Won't use that crap for years. Thank you, sir. All the fuel fittings, it tears the rubber out. Place a fuel line. Had to recrimp one of the injector harnesses because it pulled out. Put some fuel in it. Let's see if it starts now. We'll see. Stock motor. Slow, you know, just get its ass cracked by stock bottom end Mustangs.
Yeah, right.
He's going all-wheel drive with this tin can that weighs probably half my car. Look at this. Full-on race car. He's gonna be mad as shit when I leave with him in an all-wheel drive car. Walk away from him. Alright, so we got it fired.
124 on the truck.
Having a fuel issue. Going lean the second you rev it.
Leaned out.
I don't understand how that hasn't changed the time. Can we like refresh it? Maybe it's working. You got thermostat in this thing? Cool, the system's working now. Well, my job here is done until the comes time to crack that ass. Yeah, the head gasket seems to be running nice and cool. The fan was wired backwards, so it was a pusher, not a puller. And now we gotta go buy a new laptop, and we can play with the fuel map a little bit. All right, so the street driving's been going great. I got over 200 miles on the engine now. Couple particles in the clear view, but nothing to report home about. Just, you know, leftover crap probably in the pan that I couldn't get out or didn't get out, whatever. Been beating the crap out of it. Seems to be doing good. Tomorrow, Dave is coming up. We're gonna do some more fine tuning. Like I said, the fuel map was way out of whack with these injectors being so bad. We compensated so much for them. But we're going to do some more street tuning. I just want to, for everybody that asks, I did verify the timing. I had to go buy a new timing light. That's Harbor Freight, $100, because Dave's antique from like 1964, I would really love to know how old this thing is. Didn't work, so I went out and bought one. I'm like, you know what, I should probably get a new one. Oh, it's like maybe a half a degree off, maybe. So that's good, being on it. We gotta go pick up a bunch of parts from him, for him, and I'm gonna pick up some X85, VP X85, so we're gonna give that a shot. Street tuning, but I gotta start working on the trailer. Now, for Drag Week, we're like 35 days out. Nothing's necessarily wrong with the trailer, but I want to change some things just to make it easier. It was kind of a pain in the ass for some things. So, what I'm doing is I'm getting everything out, and I need to change the way I do things. So like I have all my VP jugs have these on them. These are coming off, so I can have the lower height, right? Because I think what I'm gonna do, probably can't see all the way back there, is I want to put shelves in here. So like I have my tent, right, and it's kind of in the way on the floor, so I want to get this thing up and, oh, it's such a pain in the ass trying to show you guys and hold that up. I want to get up and out of the way. Use it, you know, I used it once last year, but I was happy as hell to have it. Same with the 2 folding chairs. I want to be able to put another piece like this on the lower part of the door, but I couldn't last year because it hit the tires. Well, that's a problem. There's some things I want to do. I'm going to build a V in that nose to hold stuff like, God, I'm saying so much recently. But I want to be able to put like my oil up there, my gallon of water up there, my transmission fluid up there, moving blanket that I use. Need a floor jack. I want to get like a kick down for this thing almost. I don't even know what the hell to call it, because if you start climbing in here, it will kick up. Like this stuff. Because this is my bin that I keep like my spare parts in. Like my alternator or my starter, but like I got some shop towels, a couple plastic garbage bags. Always, I gotta add some more actually. Funnels. Like I want to be able to put that just crap up here, and then I can keep the spare parts. Right. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take some square tube, come from here all the way across, and then to that. I don't think it should, you know, maybe one down to it. But I also want to get another back out tray and mount it up on the wall, because I have 2 others that have miscellaneous crap in it that I like to stick on the wall instead of having this thing so high. That bottom one is my toolbox. It was rather annoying having 5-6 things piled on top of that this high and then having to need a screwdriver. That was my biggest complaint. It was obnoxious. Oh, I'm tired. I'm tired. No. Let's take some measurements and maybe start cutting some metal. I haven't decided if I'm going to TIG weld these in or just run some bolts through. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. We'll come back to that.
The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance, not the life I want to live. I want to.
What I would do for a spool gun right about now. That is miserable. Good Lord. You can see I got the crossbar and the one in the front. I don't know how much weight that'll hold. I'm thinking about triangulating it against the sides. I don't know. I might do that just for ease of putting a piece of plywood up there. And I don't know how what I'm gonna do to block the front. Maybe I'll make a door. I don't know. Think about it. But I'm gonna let that cool so I can weld the back joint, and then I'll think about it some more. Alright, so I got the shelf almost done. I gotta get a couple more screws into the board. And I'm gonna make some T-brackets out of square tube to hold the back of the shelf, and I'll screw it into the stud on each side to hold just those corners. But yeah, you can see I'm gonna be using stuff up there. It's gonna make nice easier. Dave's working on the cold start right this second. We're about to go drive it and tune it some more. I started getting my stuff back in here. Yeah. Gotta sell this stuff. This is the Gen 3 stuff, brand new spare drag. We can buy Gen 4. But I have a net coming for that. That'll be here tomorrow. We'll put that in. And then I'm gonna go to Home Depot tonight and get hooks for the canopy. See if that can stay up in the corner. Can't forget ratchet straps this time. That's a must. Just a couple 1-inchers to hold down the canopy to the rims. The Frank's father-son team had a couple, because I'm like, we pretty much hung out with them all week. We kept running into each other, staying at the same hotels and stuff. Great guys. Some X85. Yeah, we're gonna go drive the car around. I'll film some of it. We'll talk about it. All right, let me change batteries in the GoPro and we'll go for a ride. The bottle's not open, right? Figured just clean it up on wastegate first. Ready? Yeah, good. Dead nuts, 11.8. We're smoking like a bitch, though. Oh, what happened? I don't know. It's coming in the car, man. Pull it over somewhere. Oil? It went away. It ain't smoking. All right, let's not do that again. Where's there somewhere that we can pull over and we'll pop, maybe we'll pop the hood off and get the thing? We're gonna get off the fucking highway first. Where's the breather tank? Breather tank's underneath the hood? Yeah, up front. What's on your side? Nothing? Downpipe, the oil, the clear view. But that's like burnt smoke. Like that looked like it was coming out the exhaust almost, without much it was. Tell me like a fucking turbo seal went. I was thinking more like maybe a valve cover leaking. That was a lot. Still got plenty of oil pressure. Everything looks fine. Oh, that didn't sound good. What? Made like 10 pounds of boost. Motherfucker looks fine. But it's smoking, I can tell. Yep. Yeah, it's out that driver pipe. Yeah. Gonna have to play with that. Why now? Just for the fuck of it. Yeah, it reads 100. It might not be logging because I'm online. You know, because I'm live. It didn't smoke that little pull. No. Maybe it might just, it's probably just diesel. Yeah. Hit it one more time, see if it smokes again. If you want, and just remember it's got a little more boost in it. I love this car. Yeah, smoking. Yeah, you can smell it. Excuse me if I repeat some stuff that I've already said in this video. This is over like 3 or 4 days, so I don't even remember. But yesterday went all right. Like 15 pounds of boost, 13 and a half, or actually I think it made, he said. Nothing crazy because it was on pump gas, so we're not going to try to kill it. But there was metal in the clear view from a couple of days ago when I first started driving the car again, but it hasn't increased. I just took it apart to clean it. Because, I mean, it wasn't a lot. It was, you know, there was some flecks here or there, but I never took it apart over the past 3 or 4 days to clean it. So I just took it apart, cleaned it. I mean, nothing to like it's been. This was, I believe, just all the oil getting to all the little nicks and crannies and working itself out. So, as of right now, we're going to try to go Friday, race at a test and tune. You know, we're not trying for a fastest pass this time. You know, we are like 30 days out from drag week. So right now, we just need to get a solid 850 tune in the car. 850 anything. I'm not like some of the guys in street race category where it is tight. Like these are bracket guys pretty much. They're going 850 with a 1, 850 with a 3. And if they go 851, they're getting back in line to try to get down further. If I go, my goal, like everyone's goal who does a drag and drive, number one goal is to finish the event. That's the number one goal. Nothing else matters. Be able to come in there day 5, make a pass, hand in your time slip, and complete a drag and drive is a huge accomplishment in itself. And you won't even know how big that accomplishment is until you actually do one. I mean, there's people who've done it, tried 4 or 5 times and haven't finished. It's huge. It's hard. It's a lot of work. So that's number one goal. Number 2 goal is to have an 850 average. 850, 8.5 average. If this thing goes 859.9, we're packing up and moving on. I'm not going to sit there and try to get as close as I can to 850 because it doesn't matter in my class. There'll be guys in the 7s in my class, and that's going to determine where this car goes from here on out. If I go up there and I place in the top 5 again, I probably won't do any upgrades to the car. If I'm in the bottom of the list because everything's just gotten insanely faster, there's a chance I'd upgrade the cage. I don't want to at all because once this thing gets to a 25.5, it's over for me in my eyes as a street car. That's a race car that gets driven on the street. I mean, we're kind of blurring the line as it is right now. But once that cage goes in, it's over my eyes. This would be pretty easy to convert to a 25.5 because it's a chromoly 10 point, so you can go up to a 25.5, which will get me 750s. I don't know. We'll see how drag week plans out. I can't go backwards. I can't go into street race. There's just too many things to this car that eliminate it from that. Mini tubs in the rear coilovers, which could be fixed. I mean, everything could be changed. But it's like stock appearing bumpers, no fiberglass. I think you have a fiberglass hood. I don't think you can have a fiberglass bumper unless it's a replica bumper. So like I'd have to change that out, which would entail changing all this because a factory bumper is not going to fit on this. You know, the radiator is so far forward because I can get it to go forward because of the bumper. We'll see. I got to change this oil feed, oil drain, right? We don't think it's been a problem in the past because we've never made this much oil pressure. We're making almost 100 psi of oil pressure at 7,000 RPMs. I mean, we're making 84 psi at like 4,500 RPMs. So I think that 90 is just being a restriction right there. Because it's only the driver's side. The passenger side comes straight out of the turbo. It's only the driver's side. And the turbo spins fine. You know, there's no abnormal play in it. Everything's good with it. No oil out the front, which means to me it's just a little bit of oil. I mean, you could probably see it in the video behind us. I'm not sure. But I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to try to get it up today. Got some, I don't know if I touched on it, but got some X85 from Scotty Wheels, just to eliminate inconsistencies with Pumpy 85. That's all, nothing more. I'm not trying to make more power on this. I'm just trying to eliminate the consistencies. We got it from 2 different places and saw a 15-point swing. It's pretty big. So we're going to try to get rid of that inconsistency and just have a consistent fuel. And if this does work out, we'll probably just hit the dyno and do 2 tunes for the car instead of relying on the flex. I'll leave the flex fuel in the car, but instead of relying on it, we'll just have 2 tunes, and I'll put a map switch in and just swap it over. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed the track goes good on Friday. As of right now, we're going to drag week. I don't know how. This is gonna hurt, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna do it. As long as everything's good on Friday. As of right now, I'm happy with the car. Alright guys, get in your garage. It's early. I'm going to get a hot cappuccino. Get to work on your hot rods. Have a good night, guys.